Good evening, Snooker World, and once again, this is the 42nd episode of the 15 Red podcast. And tonight, joining me from Northern Ireland once again is Scott. How are you doing, Scott?
How are you, Mike? I'm very well, thank you. It's been a lovely day here in Northern Ireland. I've been out in the garden for most of the day, but I'm back in my bedroom with a trusty almanac beside me. So,
Excellent. Sounds good.
yeah.
So Graham's busy today, so we're doing a dual session here.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
Okay. So to start things off quickly, Kyren Wilson wins the Championship League.
Yes, defends his title because, of course, he won the Championship League under a different guise at the end of last calendar year, earlier this season. But he's now won it under the traditional format, so he's defended the title. He seems to like the shorter formats, Kyren.
Yeah, he's done well. He won a Champions League earlier. I think it was a ranking event earlier. This one
It was
not a ranking event. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. The Championship League's normally not a ranking event, but because of COVID last year, they had to fill up the calendar, I suppose.
Okay, fair enough. I was wondering why one was and one wasn't, but that answers that question.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good victory for him heading in towards Sheffield now. So
Yes, although with the shortness of the format, you can't really read much into that, but he played very, very well. He
yes.
did play well.
So, and speaking of Sheffield, it is 14 days today before we have opening break-off, sir.
Exactly 2 weeks.
Getting excited?
Yes.
Okay, good stuff.
Bit of a doubter though, because the almanac goes out of date the minute the qualifying starts.
Yes, that's true. But we'll have a qualifying preview show tomorrow because we want to cover the qualifying before it actually starts.
Yes. I'll not be here for that, but you and Graham can take care of that.
Oh, absolutely. Then that would be just fine. So, yeah. So I put up a poll last night covering who's going to win between Jimmy White and Stephen Hendry, and it seems very, very close.
I think when I saw it was level, then I went for Jimmy. So it was 8-7. Have you got the latest figures there?
The last figures I saw was 29-27 for Jimmy. And if you take out all the 15 Red podcast guys, which is you, Graham, and myself, we all took Jimmy, Hendry would be winning. But it's very, very, very close.
Yeah. Let's hope it's just as close when they actually play, of course. Let's hope it's not a 6-0 either way.
Yeah, no, that would be bitterly disappointing if it was like that. But I don't think it'll happen that way somehow.
No. By the way, we should give Kyren Wilson credit for the new record that he created.
Okay, what did he do?
Because he has created a new record for most centuries in a single tournament of any status with 23, because he made 23 centuries during the course of the Championship League. Now, bear in mind, of course, the Championship League is played in 3 stages. So he didn't make 23 centuries yesterday, but he made 23 throughout the course of the whole thing.
Oh, okay. Very good. Well, I mean, a record is a record, and that will be the new standard, I guess, new challenge.
Yes, indeed.
So, all right. Well, now we've got that out of the way. Once again, we go back into the time machine.
Indeed.
And we arrive at 2002 of the World Championships.
Indeed, we do.
And it was a good year, a very good year, actually.
Marvelous year. One of my top 5, I think, actually, for overall years.
Yeah, I agree. All the way through, the standard was great. The final was wonderful. That was Peter Ebdon beating Stephen Hendry by the odd frame.
Indeed, the last final frame decider we've had.
Yeah, well, coming up 19 years ago. That's a long time to go without a deciding frame in a World Championship. But yes, that event, as you have quite rightly said, was a wonderful, wonderful tournament.
Yeah, tremendous.
So
Let's go through the two players' routes then.
Please, Stephen's.
And we'll start with the 7-time King of the Crucible.
Yep.
Stephen Hendry. And his first round opponent was a very, very young Sean Murphy, I believe.
Yeah, it was. You're right. You're correct.
And if I can find the score here.
It was 10.
There we go. 10-7, yes, 10-7 it was.
Yep. Okay.
And then in the second round, Hendry beat a Welsh player, Anthony Davies,
Okay.
by, I believe, 13 frames to 3.
Yep. 13-3. That's right.
And then in the quarterfinals, an absolute classic against Doherty, 13-12 with 6 centuries between them. It was marvellous stuff.
Yep.
And then the semi-final, everyone knows about, of course. We've got Hendry O'Sullivan. Hendry wins 17-13.
Yes.
And there were a few choice words exchanged pre-match, I believe.
Yeah, I think that was something about, go back and hide away in Scotland, something like that, and it felt really, really unnecessary.
Yes, I'll send you back to your sad little life in Scotland, that sort of thing.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So I'll read out Peter's route, and Peter beat Mike Judge 10-4.
Yeah, Michael Judge.
He beat Joe Perry 13-7.
Yes.
He beat Anthony Hamilton 13-6.
Yep.
Beat Matthew Stevens in a classic semi-final 17-16.
Yep. And then, of course...
And then he obviously beats Stephen Hendry in the final 18-17. And I believe he's the only player to win both semi-final and final undecideds.
Yep, he is indeed, for a World Championship. Tremendous.
So, do you have the session scores by chance there, Scott?
I do.
Okay.
4-all. And Hendry did well to get out of that 4-all because he was actually 4-0 down.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
So Hendry did well to get out of that. 10-6 Ebden overnight.
Okay.
12-all.
Yep.
And then 18-17.
Wow. Just an absolute classic.
Tremendous stuff. And actually, Stephen didn't lead until 13-12. It was 12-all, and then Stephen won the first frame of the first frame of the second afternoon, and that was the first time he led.
Oh, okay. Very good.
So
yeah, that was a great point. Each player had 4 centuries each.
8, yes, tremendous.
Matthew Stevens had the high break of a 1-4-5.
Yeah, in a semi-final against in a quarter-final rather against John Higgins, in which at one point before he made that 1-4-5, he had already scored 250 points without reply. So if you add 1-4-5 onto that, what's that? 250, 350,
Like that. Yeah.
That's nearly 4. What's that? 250 plus 145.
250 to 395.
Good grief. 395 points.
Wow. Without a response.
Tremendous.
So Stephen Hendry set a record for most centuries in a tournament.
A World Championship, yes. 16.
I mean, that's playing at some high level. 16 centuries in a tournament. And
can you read them all out there, can you?
You want all his centuries, you mean?
Yeah. Read them all out. Just let our viewers hear this.
Okay, let me just bring it up here quickly. Stephen Hendry. So, Stephen Hendry, where are we here? Okay, so he made a 141,
Yeah.
a 1-4, a 1-3-2, a 1-3-0, a 1-2-6, a 1-2-6, a 1-2-5, a 1-2-4, a 1-2-2, 1-1-6, 1-1-3, 1-1-3, 1-1-1, 108, 104, and 100.
That is savage.
That is exactly, that's well said. That is absolutely savage. That's no wonder that record still stands too. That's a beauty. I can't believe it didn't win, to be honest.
You know, one playing that well, that was superb.
That's just unbelievably good. So,
and Peter had 10, I believe.
Peter had 10, yeah. Yeah, Peter had 10. He was very good too. So, combined, they both had 26. 26.
And the total was 68, which was a new record.
26 of the 68 were between Hendry and Peter Ebdon. Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
surpassing the record of 59 from 1998, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, John Williams was the referee.
Yep.
And Peter gained 260 grand.
Yep.
Stephen locked up 152. And the prize fund was £1.6 million.
And what did Matthew get for the highest break? 20, wasn't it?
20. Let's actually, let me just make sure I got that right. Highest break, 20 grand. Yep, he's good for 20. So yeah, that was a great final.
It was a superb tournament, man. I'll take you back to that Hendry O'Sullivan semi and just read you out the century breaks between the two of them because it was tremendous.
Okay.
In the semi-final, Ronnie had 115.
Yep.
Stephen had a 125.
Yep.
A 124.
Okay.
A 122. That was extraordinary.
That the standard of that. I mean, you would expect that, but yeah, that's something. And I know you've said it before, but this is one of the all-time great tournaments for standard.
Yeah, and also, Stephen had a 129, which I believe meant that he missed the brown from it. Yeah, no, he missed the pink for a maximum. No, missed the blue for a maximum.
Oh yeah. Do you remember what match that was? I don't recall that.
That was the semi against Ronnie.
Oh, okay. So
he really did play some savage stuff.
Absolutely correct. No, can't deny that.
And Ronnie, I believe, Ronnie actually had 3 consecutive centuries spread across 2 matches because he won his last match with a 102 and a 113. The match against Stephen Lee in the quarters, and then he won the first frame of the semi-final with a 115 break.
Yeah, so he the whole tournament was full of centuries, 68 centuries for the tournament. I mean, it's going up some now. That's
savage stuff. Superb. And fair play to Peter Ebdon for hanging in there because, like, at 10-6 up, you probably think he's fairly comfortable, but then Stephen gets it back to 12 all, and then Stephen goes 13-12, and you're probably thinking, oh dear goodness,
could go the other way, could swing the other way.
Yeah, but fair play to Peter. I mean, as we said, there were 8 centuries between them in that final. It was brilliant, really. It was superb. Superb stuff.
So now after a wonderful 02 tournament, we go to 03.
Which was another wonderful tournament.
And that was Mark Williams picking up the trophy. In Ken
Yes,
Doherty,
indeed. So Ken's route then.
Yep.
Sean Murphy 10-9.
Okay.
Graham Dott 13-12.
Okay.
John Higgins 13-8, despite being 10-0 up at one stage.
Okay, that's right.
And then in the semi, of course, probably in hindsight, the most unjust result in snooker history, probably. No offense to Ken, but
yeah, it was a great match. You're referring to the Paul Hunter match?
yeah, 17-16 Ken, of course.
That was a great match too. I mean, Ken. Yeah. I mean, he was chasing Paul the whole time.
Yeah, 15-9 down going into the final session.
Yeah, that, and then I think it was 16-14, and Ken had to win the last three.
I'll check that. Yes, you're right, actually.
Yeah. But Mark's route, I'm going to read it to you, Scott. It was Hetman 10-2.
Yep.
Quinton Han 13-2.
From 2-0 down.
From 2-0 down, he won 13 straight frames to walk away with the win. Stephen Hendry, he beat 13-7. And Stephen Lee 17-8.
Yeah.
So a little bit of an easier route for Mark than for Ken, but nevertheless, they both met in the final.
Yeah.
And session scores?
Session scores 7-1 Williams.
Okay.
11-5 Williams.
Okay.
12 all.
Ooh, there's the comeback. Yep.
And Williams wins 18-16.
Interesting. So
at one stage, Williams led 10-2.
Wow. And Ken made a match of it.
Yes, he did.
I could see why he's called the comeback king.
Yes.
People a lot and making matches close.
Yeah, well, you've got a stat there about the number of frames he played.
Yes. Through the tournament, Ken played a total of 132 frames, which is a current record. So, yeah, that's a lot of frames being played. A lot of close.
Yeah, what was it? 19 in the first round, 25 in the second.
Yep. And
21 in the quarterfinal.
33 in the semi-final. And then 34 in the final.
Damn, right.
So
he would have wanted a break after that.
Yeah, no kidding. The Peter Ebdon inflicted the crucible curse on Sean on
Paul Hunter inflicted it on Peter Ebdon, yes.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to get at. Yes, Paul Hunter inflicted it on Peter Ebdon, beating him in the quarterfinals 13-12.
Indeed.
And there was 53 centuries.
Yep.
And Ken made 8 of them, and Mark made 6. So, pretty decent click there as well.
And of course, the highest break, we all know that.
That was Ronnie, I believe. He's 147.
Ronnie's maximum. And it was I believe it was the first time in Crucible history. It's happened twice since, but it's the first time in Crucible history that someone made a maximum but lost.
Oh, very good. Didn't know that.
Yes, because Marco Fu beat him.
Yep.
I'll get you the score here. In the first round it was.
Yep.
And it was. Stephen Ebdon. Doherty. You should get it there. Where is the? Oh my God. I can't find it. Oh yes, there we go. 10-6 it was. 10-6 to Marco Fu.
Okay, very good. So that was Mark Williams' 1816 win, and he played well that tournament. I thought he was very good.
He did.
Deserving.
Played very well.
Yes.
Played very well. You got the prize funds there?
The prize funds for this one. Let me just quickly. It was, I think it was the same as. Prize funds. Okay, so the winner got 270.
Yep, Mark.
158.
Yeah.
And the total prize was 1.682 million.
And then Ronnie got 147 for the maximum plus the high break, which was what?
22K. So he got 169K total for the highest break plus the maximum. So,
but still lost the match. I bet he would have traded the money for the match win, probably.
Probably, yes, but still, considering he was beat by Marco, he didn't leave with nothing.
No, indeed not.
All right, so from 03, we roll on to 04, and we see Ronnie and Graham Dutt in the final.
Indeed, we do.
So Graham's route.
Mark King 10-9.
Okay.
And in the second round, I can find it. And then in the second round, John Higgins 13-10.
Yep.
In the quarters, David Gray 13-7.
Correct.
And then in the semis, Matthew Stevens again 17-15.
Not bad. Another good semi-final.
Yeah, semi-finals are always very good matches at the Crucible for some reason.
You know what? I think in so many ways, I think they are better than the finals. Granted that you can pick decide between two matches as opposed to one. But yeah, I agree with you. I think semis are generally quite a bit better.
Why are the semis often the memorable matches from the tournament, though?
Well, there's always like one surprise person there. You always get the one person you least expect to be there. So there's always an intrigue, and then then usually you've got like a couple of the top end guys fighting it out. So, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what the reason would be, but it just seems like the semifinals are always very good.
Indeed.
So I'll read out Ronnie's route. Ronnie beat Stephen Maguire 10-6.
Yep.
He beat Andy Hicks 13-11.
Yep.
He beat Anthony Hamilton 13-3.
Yep.
And he beat Stephen Hendry 17-4. So a little bit of a pushback from Ron. He looked like he cruised past Hicks and Hendry there. Oh, Hamilton and Hendry.
Yeah.
But you've got the sessions.
Yeah, 5-3 dot, although it was 5-0 dot.
Oh wow. Okay. Interesting side note.
And then 9-7 dot, or 9-7 O'Sullivan rather overnight.
Okay.
16-8 Ronnie after the third.
Yep.
And then won the last two frames at night.
So basically, it looks like that third session, Ronnie wins 7-1. That looks like the deciding difference in the match right there.
Yeah.
So there were 2 centuries in the final, one by each player.
Yep.
And Joe Perry had a 145 for the highest break, and he got 17.6K for the highest break.
17,600 that would be.
Yeah. So, 17,600.
Yeah.
So Ronnie made 13 centuries, Graham made 2. for the tournament.
15 between them.
15 between them. 250 for the winner, 125 for the runner-up. So, not the standard of, say, an 0-2 or an 0-3, but still another good tournament, nevertheless.
Yeah, what was the century total there?
The century total was 55.
55, so
Uh,
not the highest standard, but not the worst either.
Not exactly right. So, okay, Ronnie is the defending champ. We go to 05. And this was a great final.
Yes, indeed.
It was Sean Murphy and Matthew Stevens.
Indeed. Now then, Matthew, first of all.
Yep.
Where is he? Fine.
You got it?
Yes. Andy Hicks again. 10-5.
Correct.
Then Jimmy White 13-5.
Okay.
Stephen Hendry 13-11.
Okay.
And Ian McCulloch 17-14.
There's a surprise semi-finalist right there, Ian McCulloch.
Yes, indeed.
So Sean Murphy's route was Chris Small 10-5.
Yep.
John Higgins 13-8.
Yeah.
Steve Davis 13-4.
Yeah.
Peter Ebden 17-12. And
Yes.
to win the tournament 18-16 over Matthew Stevens.
Yeah.
So there were 4 centuries in the final. 3
Yes.
by Sean made 3 and Matthew made 1.
Yes.
Sean was also ranked 48th in the world when he won this title.
Yes.
So, and you know another interesting fact about this tournament that you would be surprised to hear? It was the first time John Parrott did not qualify for the World Championships.
Yes, he lost to Fergal O'Brien.
You are correct. Yes, he did. That is right. So
Thanks to Chris Dowder for that particular one, because I got that from the pink section at the back of the almanac.
exactly, that's very good little snippet there. Also, Mark Williams made a 1-4-7 against Robert Milkins in frame 11 against 10.
Yes.
So
Yep.
there was, that was that. And between in the tournament, Matthew Stevens made 5 centuries, Sean Murphy made 11. So for a total of 16 combined between the two of them.
Yeah.
And the prize fund was 250 grand for the winner, 125 grand for the runner-up, 1.1 million for the total prize fund. So all.
And Mark for the maximum?
He got 161 grand for the 147 plus the high break, 161 grand.
The high break prize was?
The high break prize. Oh, what do we got here? 05. Let's just see what we got here for the prize. So the highest break was 14K, or 14 grand, as you say, and the televised 147. So we got a total of 161.
Yeah. By the way, we forgot to say the referees for 2004. That was Paul Collier.
Oh yeah, 04 was Paul Collier and 05 was Arian Williams.
Indeed, yes.
So,
And 03 was Jan Verhaas.
yes, correct. So we're up to track on our referees as well so far.
Yes, indeed.
So, anything else you remember about this tournament in general?
2005. I remember O'Sullivan playing Maguire for the second year in a row in the first round.
Oh yeah. And
it went the same way both times.
Oh, okay. So
Ronnie won both times.
I do remember Sean Murphy being really, really good. This was one of his like coming out parties almost. Like he was really
Yeah,
like because he up until
that was
then
superb stuff.
yeah. So yeah, he was a little bit unknown, but that put him on the world stage for sure. I'm surprised he's only won one crown, to be honest with you, Scott.
Yeah, 2 more finals. We'll get to those eventually. 2009 and 2015, where he lost to Higgins and Bingham. But apart from that, he's not done much at Sheffield since.
No. So, but who knows? Maybe you can do it this year. We never know, right? So
Yes, indeed.
all right. So the last one of the day is 06, and we are watching Graham Dott and Peter Ebdon battle it out in the final, and Graham Dott winning.
Yep.
So Peter's run.
Peter, then, let's see. The 2002 champions, Root, started off with a 10-8 victory over Michael Holt.
10-8 or 10-5?
10-5, sorry, 10-5.
10-5, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, it was 10-8. Sorry, I misread that. 10-8 it was.
Was 10-8? Okay. All right.
Yeah, sorry, I misread that.
No problem. We're good. And second round?
13-2 against David Gray.
Okay. 13-2. David Gray. Well, nice. Okay.
And then, let's see, and then in the quarters, he inflicted the curse on Murphy, 13-7.
Okay, so Sean Murphy gets the Crucible curse. 13-7.
And then in the semis, 17-16 against Marco Fu.
Wow. Great match again. Decider.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, it goes back to what we're saying about semi-finals.
Correct. Yeah, I think we were singing from the same songbook on that one.
Yep.
So Graham's route, he beats John Parrott 10-3. He beats Nigel
Yep.
Bond. He beats Nigel Bond 13-9. He beats Neil Robertson 13-12. And he beats Ronnie.
That was a great one. That was.
Oh yeah. We'll have a quick talk about that. And he beats Ronnie O'Sullivan in the semi-finals 17-11. And correct me if I'm wrong, is that the one where Ronnie gives away his cue because he loses eight frames in a session?
He did, yes. And actually, that gives me a nice segue to answer yesterday's trivia question. Because I asked yesterday, how many times in Crucible history has a session of more than 6 frames been whitewashed?
Okay, and the answer is?
59.
Oh, wow. Wow, that many, wow. I guess there's a lot of matches to go through, so, but yeah, that's impressive to say the least.
Yeah.
So,
Quite a lot of second round matches that, like, you know, middle sessions of second round matches and stuff.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. So the session summary. Because there was some.
Oh yeah. Now bear in mind that sessions 1 and 3 only had 6 frames because they basically took too long.
But they had a re-rack, I think, in frame 1. Seemed to take.
They did, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, so session 1 was
4-2 Dott.
Okay.
Then 11-5 overnight to Dott.
Okay.
Then 15-7.
Okay.
With only 6 frames.
Yep.
And then Dott wins at 18-14.
looks like he's leading pretty much the whole way through there. So
Yes, yes.
so
And
this
the latest finish to a Crucible final.
was it? Okay.
Yes.
Also, it was the first time that the prize fund money had decreased due to sponsorship not being used from the smoking companies, the cigarette companies.
Yes, because you remember for years it was called the Embassy World Championship because Imperial Tobacco sponsored it.
Correct.
But then in about 2004, 2005, the United Kingdom government, in conjunction with European governments, brought in, I think it was an EU-wide smoking ban.
All right. And that's
But because Embassy had the contract for another few years, they let the contract run out, but it wasn't renewed. And 888.com sponsored it for 3 years. 3 years, 2006, 7 and 8.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
So,
8. So this is the first time we look at smaller prize funds. So
yes. Because obviously the tobacco companies had poured in such a large amount of money, you see, over the years.
Did you find it funny seeing it with a green set? We're so used to the Embassy where it was the red set, and then you saw the green one. It looked really different the first time I saw that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I posted on the group today a match from the semis in 2007 between Murphy and Selby.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And it did look very strange.
Yeah, it took a little while to get used to. And they had a blue set.
It did, but nonetheless.
The prize funds were 200 for the winner, 100 grand for the runner-up, 1+ the max, which there was no maximum, and the highest break of the tournament. Let me have a look here. Ronnie made a 140, so he got the highest break. And anything else? Was the referee? Jan Verhaas was the referee. So
yes, I've got a couple of match things that I want to point out.
Go on then, please.
Ronnie played Mark Williams in the quarters.
Okay.
13-11.
Okay.
Finished.
All right.
It was a superb one, actually. And then Stephen Hendry played Nigel Bond in the first round.
Okay.
It went 9-all.
Yep.
Right? 9-all.
Yep.
And Hendry lost because he putted the black, right? So he thought he'd won it, but then he went then off.
Oh, gee.
So the black had to be respotted.
Right. Huh. And then he ended up not getting through.
And Nigel Bond won it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we've got to remember as well that 2006 was the late Paul Hunter's last ever professional match.
Yes, it was.
He lost 10-5 to Robertson.
Correct. Yep. That was one of our trivia questions. Who was his last match? Yep, that's right.
Oh, sorry, I've given the answer away there, but...
No, this was one when we did the quiz. It was one of my questions I asked.
Oh, yes, so it was.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Graham's quarter-final against Robertson.
Okay.
It's sort of a forgotten classic, this. It's never talked about, but it was probably the best match of the whole tournament, actually. 13-12, and it was absolutely superb.
Yeah. Yeah, I agreed with you on that. I mean, and that was a young Neil Robertson who's starting to make a name for himself. So.
Yes, he'd won his... he would win his first ranking title the following season.
So, of all these finals we've covered today, which one was your favourite?
I'm going to sit on the fence and say it's a toss-up between 2002 and 2003.
Oh, yeah? Any particular reason?
Well, because one was a decider and the other was just superb. I think I'll go 2 on the fact that we haven't had a decider for 19 years.
Yeah, I was torn between two. I was between 02, obviously, with the decider and a great standard match, and 05. I actually quite enjoyed Sean Murphy.
Yeah.
I thought that was a little bit
Yeah.
under noticed, but yeah, great finals all the way around, for sure.
Yeah.
So that'll wrap up the finals for today.
Yeah.
Before we sign off, do you have any thoughts on the qualifying matches that are going to start on Monday?
Well, we're just looking forward to the obvious one, of course.
Yeah, but I mean, there are some other interesting matchups. Have you looked at the draw by chance or not? Not yet.
Yes, I have. I think Ryan Evans will have a tough against Andy Hicks, to be honest.
Right there.
Ken Doherty and Lee Walker. You've got to make Ken favourite just on pure sentiment, really.
Agreed. Yeah, I think so.
And I'll be watching very carefully Alan Taylor and Bai Lang Ning, because the winner of that plays McManus in round 2.
Okay, so that'll be an interesting one. I think Jordan Brown's going to come through qualifying. He's had a good season. I think I'm looking for him to come out strong.
Yeah.
I think,
who's he got?
I'd have to check. I will check. But I looked at his line. I mean, it wasn't like super difficult. Like I'd be surprised if he didn't get out of it. Also, I know you're a big fan of this guy Fahey. I could see him coming through his bracket. So seeing him at the World Championships, and yeah.
I do think Bingham will come through. You don't?
Yeah, I looked at his group. He's got Luca Brissell would be his closest competition. So that's a tough one. I mean, they both haven't been like particularly good this season. So
no.
I think that's just flipping a coin on any given day. If Stuart makes it in, I hope Stuart does make it in, to be honest with you. I like Bull Run Bingham. He's always good to have at the tournament. So, but yeah, hopefully he makes it in. I did pick Luca Brissell to come through that group. So
yeah, and then hopefully, you and Graham will do the qualifying preview, and then hopefully I'll join you for the resumption of the finals.
Correct. You will start that probably Monday. We'll resume it, and we'll talk a little bit about the qualifying, obviously, as well. So, but Monday we should be from 2007 to 2011, something like that, in the finals chat.
Yeah, that'll do.
So, all right.
Yeah.
That's good. Any final thoughts before we put a lid on it?
No, good episode once again. Good to see you once again, Mike, and thank our listeners for tuning in.
If anybody did type in today, unfortunately, I can't see any of the comments on here, so I couldn't respond. So, because I don't mind I like the interaction as we go along, especially on these finals things, but I don't have any way to put the comments up. So, but that's fine. Graham and I will be back tomorrow to do some qualifying preview, and then all three of us should be back Monday for some more finals coverage. All right.
Indeed. I'm taking Easter Sunday off, so
you are good. You deserve it, sir. You've done very well. So, all right.
Thank you very much.
And we'll see you on.
Will do.
All right, guys. Have a good night. Take care.
Will do.